This guitar was a lot of fun to build, and I'm extremely happy with the way that this thing turned out. It still needs a proper setup and an intonation before I hand it off to Kevin, and I suppose it also needs a case. But that's a project for another video. This guitar case is going to be a pretty simple build. I started by taking rough measurements of the guitar. I want the box to be a little bit oversized because I'll be adding foam to the inside. I opted to use OSB for the box. None of this will be exposed, so there's no reason not to use it. It'll be plenty strong and the spray adhesive will stick to it just fine. I ripped the sheets of OSB to the final width of the sides, top, and bottom. I then made my way to the radial arm saw to cut everything to its final length. I used a couple of cutoffs to cut the ends of the box. This is an incredibly basic box build. I cut rabbets on the edges of the sides so that everything will nest cleanly and I'll get a nice tight and square box. I only had a few rabbets to make, so I just took multiple passes with my full curved blade instead of setting up the dado stack. I used wood glue and brad nails to assemble the box. With three sides of the box assembled, the top slotted right into place, and I could give this some time for the glue to set. I then cut the box into two pieces at the table saw to create the lid. I cut the ends first so that I would have more surface area in contact with the table when cutting through the fourth side. I cut some 1/4 inch plywood to the internal dimension of the top and bottom sides. This will be what I attach the foam and fabric to. I used a razor meant for cutting window screen to cut a piece of 1-inch upholstery foam. I adhered the foam to the plywood using some Super 77 spray adhesive. This stuff is great to work with. You apply it in much the same way as contact cement, and once the two sides are bonded, they're joined forever. I then cut out some of this purple velvet fabric I will be lining the case with. I use a staple gun to adhere the fabric to the board. I'm really bad at this, so I would not take this section as instruction on how to do this. There are much better places to figure that out. I gave the box a quick sanding to knock down any sharp corners that could at some point damage the faux leather covering I will be attaching to the box. I attached the faux leather covering using some more Super 77 spray adhesive. This part was a lot easier than I expected. I just took my time and made sure that I was applying even pressure from the center and moving outward. This was to eliminate any air pockets between the leather and the box. The adhesive is ready when you can touch it without leaving a residue on your fingers.
And you're building this to last, right? Like you're has to make the trip and
Yeah, I mean, the main reason I'm building this is because, like, first of all, it's a short scale guitar. It's at a different size than most other guitars. So finding something in a store that would fit that, there'd be a lot of cases that were close but not right on. So the thing would, like, get jostled around.
Yeah.
Unless you wanted to buy a really expensive case, and then you could, like, strap it in, essentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, there's nothing, even though I used OSB for this, there's nothing that I will say that this thing won't last for the life of the guitar.
And so if you were, hypothetically speaking, if you were like building cases, right, just for shits and giggles,
Yeah.
how long do you think it would have taken you to like just build one in general?
Build one case?
Yeah.
I'm probably under 2 hours of total work time to build this. So
Oh, nice. Okay.
I busted out the frame to the box in probably about 20 minutes. And then most of the time has been like figuring out dimensions and all that stuff. So I could, if I had to build these with any regularity, I could get it down to I could have a box completed and like basically ready to go in probably like an hour and 20 minutes, if I had to guess. Because also, if I was building one of these, if I was going to start building these more regularly, I would set a set dimension and I would just batch them out.
That makes sense.
So like if I had to make 10 of them, I would cut all the parts for 10 of them all at once.
Yeah. And then
Assemble.
Yeah, makes sense.
It just makes things 10 times easier.
I purchased these little metal brackets to protect the corners of the box. They mount using these tiny little tacks. With the top essentially complete, I could make the structure of the base that will hold the guitar. I laid everything out on the piece of 1/4-inch plywood so that I had a road map going forward. I used some more scrap to cut the cross pieces that will cradle the neck, as well as the end caps that will be padded for the body and the headstock to fit against. I cut a notch for the neck to sit into at the bandsaw. I wanted the neck notches to provide a lot of support to the neck while also having enough padding that it could not damage the neck. I don't know if my solution is the best way to go about this, but it seemed to work and it doesn't look bad in my opinion.
I don't know if this is like how you're supposed to upholster things. This is just how I've always done it.
I've never upholstered anything anyway, so
Yeah,
this is as good as mine.
I know that like one thing that I do very poorly is apply like constant pressure. So like my upholstery always ends up like lumpy because like in certain places the fabric is tighter than others, like that.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really matter for what I'm doing, so I don't care. Because if anything, it makes it less uniform. And that will go there. That's nice. Now I got to do the other one, and then I got to do those two, and then we have to roll out the big one. And then that's it for upholstery. Then we can leather clad that bitch. And or fake leather.
Did you see the bow burn
Yeah.
inside?
Yeah,
How'd
it
you feel
was
about
brilliant. Like, there's
But, like-
something very wrong with him, but it's like, it's working for him.
Yeah, I was gonna say it feels very much in your alley of like comedy.
That will dig itself in nicely.
There's like camera on that.
Yeah, well also that will press down on it, so the whole point of the top being padded as much as it is,
Oh, right.
is that it will hold everything in orientation in here. Yeah, that looks nice. So they are 3 inches in this direction, 2 inches in this direction, and 1 inch in this direction.
Gotcha.
And they're like precision melt. So I'm going to use it so that my hinges are all spaced the same distance. Because one of the things that like screams like lack of care and homemade is if hinges are not evenly spaced.
The building of the case was now complete. All that was left to do was the mounting of the hinges, the clasps, and the handle. These were all very straightforward with the exception of the handle. The screws that came with the handle were too short for the 1/2 inch OSB, so I had to steal a couple of screws from a light switch which happened to be the same thread. This build was a lot of fun, and I'm very happy that this guitar now has a proper case to keep it safe for its travel to Kevin's. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to keep up to date with new projects as they are released. We have new merch available at BassadorWoodworking.com. It's a great way to support the channel and to get some cool merch in the process. So until next time, thank you.